What happens when confidence turns into confrontation and success starts attracting more hate than support? What if the louder you shine, the more people try to dim you? That tension, raw, unapologetic, and confrontational, is exactly what fuels GOMF by Latto and GloRilla. Latto built her identity on bold confidence and Southern rap energy, rising from reality TV into mainstream success. GloRilla, on the other hand, represents a gritty, Memphis-rooted sound, direct, unfiltered, and emotionally charged. When these two come together, you don't get subtlety, you get confrontation, you get presence, you get a statement. The song opens with criticism, rumors, and judgment.
She ain't even all that. Like, ain't even like that. Ain't her mama white?
But here's the twist. These aren't just random insults. They reflect the kind of scrutiny female artists constantly face. Appearance, authenticity, background. Before the artists even speak for themselves, the noise is already there. And that's intentional. Because GOMF isn't just a response. It's a reaction to being constantly watched, judged, and compared. Latto steps in with sharp, commanding energy. Her tone isn't defensive. It's dismissive. She isn't trying to explain herself. She's shutting down the conversation entirely. Her delivery is aggressive, rhythmic, and confident, almost like every line is meant to push something away. Not critics, but expectations. There's a pattern here. The more people talk about her, the less she cares to respond directly. That's power through detachment.
Get out my face! Get out my face!
Simple, repetitive, direct. But repetition here isn't lazy. It's intentional. It turns the phrase into a boundary, a line that keeps being drawn over and over again. This isn't just about people physically being in the way. It's about unwanted opinions, fake support, people who only show up when there's something to gain. The chorus becomes less like a lyric and more like a defense mechanism. Then comes a shift. The tone becomes almost conversational, but still sharp.
You in my way! You in my way! Get out the way!
This section highlights something deeper. The pressure to look perfect, the pressure to fit trends, the pressure to compete. It's not just calling people out. It's exposing a culture where comparison never stops and where authenticity becomes harder to maintain. GloRilla brings a different energy, less polished, more grounded, more direct. She talks about success, but not in a celebratory way. Instead, she points out the side effect of it. People get upset just by watching someone else win. And that's the emotional contradiction of the song. Success is the goal, but once you reach it, it creates new problems. Her delivery feels almost effortless, like she's not trying to impress anyone. And that's what makes it hit harder. At its core, GOMF is about boundaries, not just physical space, but emotional space. It explores what happens when confidence becomes a shield. What happens when success isolates you? What happens when people only support you from a distance? There's also a hidden tension. They present confidence, but the constant need to push people away suggests something deeper. Pressure, exhaustion, and the need to stay guarded.
Get out my face! Get out my face!
Latto's delivery feels sharp and controlled, like every word is placed with intention. GloRilla's delivery feels raw and spontaneous, like she's speaking without filters. Together, they create contrast, Polish versus grit, control versus chaos. And that contrast is what keeps the track dynamic. GOMF isn't just about telling people to step back. It's about what happens when you're constantly forced to protect your space, your image, and your identity. Because the real question isn't, why are they pushing people away? It's this. How much pressure does it take before confidence stops being expression and starts becoming defense? And when that happens, are you still being yourself? Or just protecting what's left of it?
Get out my face! Get out my face!